all the action of the Bridgestone production cars in Cape Town. Welcome to East London. This is the Westbank Super Series.
Show. It's another coastal outing in the penultimate round of the Bridgestone Production Car Championship. We find ourselves welcomed with open arms to the East London Grand Prix circuit. And as many before will pay testament to, you better be on your game when you come here. This is the Westbank Super Series.
For all information pertaining to all the categories that make up the Westbank Super Series, SMS the word motorsports to 31329 or visit our website www.westbanksuperseries.co.za and stay in the loop.
So Steve, it is the penultimate round of Bridgestone production cars here at East London Grand Prix Circuit, one of the quickest in the world, never mind in the country. And a tight battle about to take part here. We've got BMWs, Audis and Nissans. Unfortunately, the Subaru's not making it down to the East London Grand Prix Circuit due to some technical issues. So they're going to sort those cars out. They'll be back in action at the final round at Kyalami.
Another great thing to see here, Greg, is the ultimate support from the Eastern Cape. As always, they just love their motorsport, and that's why they're here.
They put on a great show, too, considering the fact that they've hardly got anything here as a permanent facility. Speaking of permanent, let's put it on to pole. Will we see Melville Priest moving through the field? Unfortunately not, because Michael Stephen is already outdoing him in qualifying.
Yeah, of course, a couple of the boys are really on the money this weekend, as we've been seeing in practice. But there's another one who's on the pace as well, Johan Ferrari. And, of course, he'll be looking forward to getting a good result this weekend. He is the current champion, but he's going to relinquish that this year.
Looks like the BMWs have definitely found a little bit of pace down at East London Grand Prix. And it's Anthony Taylor who's going to put them at the front. Look at how he's pushing that car. Puts it on pole position just ahead of Johan Ferrari. That's the championship battle right there.
All right, second row, we look at Michael Stephen and Melville Priest.
And we go to the third row where we see the first of the Nissans alongside Chop Sapuka.
Then on the next row, we've got Rekhard Roods. It's a very small field, but there's plenty of action to come.
It's been a really good season for the team, and particularly Anthony Taylor. And you've stamped your authority on this season, there's no doubt. You must be quite happy.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely a very happy man for not only for myself, but for the whole team, Team Afrox, all the BMW guys, the performance parts and Castrol. So, yeah, it's a start to a good weekend. We had a bit of trouble yesterday and I didn't get a lot of laps in, but it just shows that the guys at the ADF Motorsport team know what they're doing, and the proof is there that we got it on pole, which is brilliant.
With the Audis, Michael Stephen, third in qualifying, not bad.
Yeah, happy with it. Obviously, we'd like to be on pole. The times are really close this morning. I think it's not even 0.1 between myself and Paul. So I think it'll lead to a good race.
They say they've had a lot of rain down here, and we've had a chance to look at the track as well, and you've got to keep it on the black stuff here. One slip, one wheel off that, and you're gone.
Yeah, most definitely. There's still some puddles on the track from 2 days ago. It's waterlogged. The outside, the grass and that is all waterlogged. If you go off, you're probably going to get stuck. So the trick is to keep it on the black stuff and, bring your car to the end.
Race 1, 6 laps. It's the sprint race. There's 2 of them here today. This is the first part, and it looks as if it's going to be a superb little effort here from the BM as he gets off the line nicely. We are on board with Michael Stephen right on Ferrari's tail, looking down the exhaust pipe of that Audi, and it's A4s 2 and 3 on the road.
Of course, they go into one of the fastest parts of this racetrack. You won't see it right now, but they never tap off in the next 5 laps to come. They might just get off it a little bit. They're never on the brakes.
Yeah, you can see that Melville Priest got a great drop off the line as well. The rear-wheel drive seems to have a little bit of an edge here. And that's a bit of a concern because remember the last time in Cape Town, the Audis also battled, but they seem to have found a little bit extra here for East London Grand Prix. Onto the brakes for Kochabana, and side by side, A19 is Taylor, A1 is Fourie.
Yeah, you get the feeling after watching them in practice that there's a lot going on between those two. Right now we're on board with Richard Roots as well. It's a wonderful shot because it also gives you the G-forces as well, and they do pull a lot, Greg.
Yeah, look at that. Over 200 k's an hour before he climbs onto the brakes going into gate corner on the tailpiece here of the Tubular Tech Nissan. It looks like the Cunha has also found a little bit of extra pace in that Nissan. He really has battled, but I know there's lots and lots of work being done on that car to sort it out for next season.
Yeah, a favourite part of the racetrack for me and many others at the complex, and it's very demanding as well. And of course, they're going to be going up into the last corner before you get onto the straight. Oh, somebody going a little bit. Oh, my word. Richard Roots saved it. That could have been ugly.
Yeah, he got a little bit onto the dirt there, and it basically lit up on him a little bit. Now they come into Beacon. Michael Stevens still in 4th place. He goes on the inside of Melville Priest, tries to get the drive. That came alongside him, and Priest has just got superb drive out of Beacon corner. They go across the line to complete lap number 1. We're on board with the Engine Extreme Audi, and Michael Stevens has got some work to do here.
Yeah, he certainly has, but you're going to find that that's going to be a really tough tussle between the Audis and the BMWs from Priest and Taylor, because the Audis are really on form, and he's going to have a whole rear view mirror of that Audi in the next couple of laps, there's no doubt.
230 k's an hour as they go through Rifle Corner, and look at the G-force being pulled onto the left-hand side of the car. Onto the brakes, big flames out of the side of these cars, and out of the back you can see, all right up the end. Oh, how do you brake so late, Richard? That is awesome stuff. The Rough Rider BMW is putting massive pressure all over the back of the Cunha.
I guarantee you the Cunha is going to look like a badger, eyes wide open. Here they come, they'll be motoring down, and of course that right-hander into the complex, very demanding. And look at the way that they get through. They're snaking into the complex here at East London. But Priest is still there, doing a job and keeping Michael Stevens at bay.
Yeah, he's just keeping Stevens out of that battle at the front. This is Michael Stevens' view as they come out of the sweep onto the back straight away. You can just see how these Bridgestone tyres are being put to absolute hell as they go up onto the braking markers for Beacon. Look at Johan Fourie closing up on the back end of Taylor, and the same thing's happening in the background. Richard Roots on the inside, goes for the line, and has a superb effort there to get through, and no answer from the Cunha whatsoever. Now we have the rear view of Michael Stevens' car looking at Richard Roots.
Yeah, I'm not convinced about Marco de Cunha the whole weekend. They've had some problems as well, and his younger brother was thereabouts, but at least they've got an entrant out there and racing, but I don't think they're going to be too happy with the car the way it's going at the moment.
Yeah, the same Racing Boys under new management, of course. You've got Grant van Schalkwyk now, the new manager there, and taking over the reins from Lee Phillips. And it looks like things start to be happening in there a little bit, but not quite on the pace just yet. Halfway through, whoa, where is Taylor going? He gets it completely sideways. I've seen this before. Yeah, the last time a BMW went off there, Etienne van der Linde ended up on the beach.
Most amazing thing is that Johan Fourie was nowhere in sight, or was he?
Well, he was on the inside. They're putting pressure on Taylor. Taylor came back on the outside of Rifle, just lost it on the dirt. The Bridgestone tyres won't grip on the grass, especially considering the fact it's so wet out there. We heard that from Michael Stevens earlier on in his interview, and now the battle continues.
Well, this is what I was saying. I mean, they're not listening to us clearly, Greg. We said stay on the black stuff.
Well, that's the whole idea, but you never know with these guys. Yes, Taylor, this is on board of him getting it wrong. He just gets it completely sideways there. You can see the wheel going left, right, trying to recover, and he drops down to about 120, and there you see the rev's gone completely. So Taylor now at the back end of this field. That is a massive loss for the Afrox BMW team.
Yeah, that's a good save for him as well. I mean, that took some skill as well, and he's brought that car safely to a stop. I mean, it's quite easy. You're on one of the fastest places on the racetrack, and you're going wide. We spoke about it. Keep it on the black stuff. Don't go on the grass. But I guarantee he's got some serious damage, either on the tyres or the front suspension. Right now, we're on board with Michael Stevens, chasing down Melville Priest. This can get ugly.
Do check at how that BMW was squirreling under brakes. Remember, the Audi's got Quattro, so it's a four-wheel drive system on this car, which is going to help him out a huge amount compared to what you're getting out of that rear-wheel drive. But Priest has got it down. He's got it perfect through Kochabana and maintains second place.
The one thing that Team Afrox were looking for was a good result, and that was for both of their cars. So far, at least, Melville Priest is flying the flag. Oh, I just thought that Michael Stevens was having a looking down the inside. And more often than not, he is. Into the complex they go. What a wonderful shot that is. Roots is just behind him. He's all over it. Melville Priest has got an Audi in the back mirror or on the back seat.
Well, you can see that the third BMW, no, only two out there at the moment are Priest and Roots. And Roots is not too far off this battle as we see the pressure being extended and just kept on all the time from Michael Stevens. He is not letting off one bit. Let's see whether or not he's able to do anything up here into Beacon. He goes wide. He's going to try and cut the apex late and try and get the drive on the Audi and maybe pull the BMW to the line. He gets forced wide though. Priest saw him doing that and he didn't allow him to cut that apex late. That's good driving from Melville Priest, but they're now side by side. It hasn't paid off for Melville and it looks like the Audi is going to take second place, or is it?
Well, we'll have to see, I'll tell you what, but it's not affecting Johan Ferrari. He's actually driven clear of this field at the moment. The most exciting battle is second and third. I don't think this is over. Who's going to break first? It would have to be Melville Priest on the inside. Michael Stephen had to tap off there.
I think he just rolled off slightly. I don't think he actually tapped out of it completely, but here comes Roots. Roots is going to try around the outside of Rifle. If you can get this right, man, you've got some big cojones, and he gets it perfect. Richard Roots goes to third place around the outside of Rifle at close to 240 kilometers an hour. That is awesome stuff.
Yeah, I'm not convinced, though, Greg. I think Michael might have actually had problems losing a gear or not getting in the gear selector properly. I mean, for Roots to blow past him like that, had to have a problem there for a second.
Oh, now it's the two Audis behind the two BMWs. So we've got an Audi leading, that's Johan Ferrari. Then we've got Priest and Richard Roots in the third of the BMWs. Then the two Engine Extreme Audis. And all of a sudden, Chop Sapuka is not too far away from getting onto the podium. If he can get ahead of one of these cars, there's a possibility. There goes Stephen, straight back at Roots. Oh, nicely done, Michael Stephen. This battle is not over yet.
Yeah, there's not too much time to go either. I think we're on the second last lap, if not the penultimate lap at the moment. On board Michael Stephen. There's a close-up view of Chop Sapuka, who's very close. He could get a good result here.
And he snuck through on the BMW. Awesome stuff there from Chops. He saw his teammate go, got onto the back end and said, right, if you're going to go through, Michael, I'm coming with you. So the two Engine Extreme Audis out doing the Rough Rider Helivac BMW. And it looks like Roots has now got it all to do again. But the flag is going to come out, and it's too little too late.
Yeah, Johan Ferrari dominant, and look at him waving to the crowd. He's putting that finger up. I'm number one, I'm number one. He will be for a period of time, but let's hope he can keep that together for the next race as well.
Confirmation of the results, Johan Ferrari and Indy Oil Audi taking it from Melville Priest, Afrox BMW, then the Engine Extreme Audis of Sapuka and Stephen, and Marco Acuna in the Nissan Infa.
Then Anthony Taylor and then Richard Roots, who picked up a penalty for actually changing tyres in the pit lane. Of course, I think they got the strategy wrong.
You made that look really easy.
Yeah, put my head down, try to follow Anthony. And in the first two laps, we pulled open quite a big gap to the third people, so I was just focusing on Anthony. The cars are pretty evenly matched after they got it restricted. They're still fast at the corner, but on top end, we're gaining a little bit with the toe. So I was just hanging in there and trying to pick where I can maybe go for a move. Once or twice I tried the outside in Cocobana, but Anthony was just clever, rolling off the brake pedal. And then, yeah, on lap 3 or lap 4, I'm not sure, I think lap 3, and we just seemed to run wide in Rifle, and like you guys just told me, got two flat tires. So I don't know where he picked up the puncher, but luckily we didn't. We survived.
So race number 2, it's a reverse grid, and it looks like it's the Tubular-Tech 350Z Nissan of Marco Acuna is on the grid and leading out this incredibly aggressive field.
It's going to be incredibly aggressive because you're going to have to watch out for Anthony Taylor coming from behind, and also Richard Roots. He's just been disqualified, not working out too well for him. He was in a great little battle, actually got up to third at one point, and then due to the fact that he came into pit lane to change his tyre as opposed to staying on the Parc Fermé grid, that's what cost him dearly. On board once again with Michael Stevens as they go through Rifle, closing down on the Nissan of Marco Acuna.
It's going to be interesting whether Marco Acuna can actually stave off the pressure that's going to be exerted on him by Michael Stephen. Of course, let's not forget that Chop Sapuka, over the last couple of races, including now, has been getting on the pace on a regular basis.
No doubt about that. He's got the pace, and the one to watch out for, in fact, is actually Michael Stephen. We're on board with him now. He's had a couple of victories coming from these reverse grid situations. So he is definitely the reverse grid specialist, I would have to say. And right now, with the BMs and Audis battling in their own little battle a little bit further back, it looks like Stephen might actually be able to take another victory here.
No, I totally agree with that as well. I think you've called it 100% on the money, and of course that he'll be looking for that advantage and pressing it home. As we're speaking about the man, we're on board with him as well, and he's still chasing down that Nissan 350Z from Marco Acuna. But here comes the battle, the rest of the field, so to speak. Taylor's in there, and of course look at Chop Sapuka, he's the buffer, and Ferrari's not getting it all his own way. And look at the body damage on Taylor again. Where did that come from?
Yeah, I think it's just a bit of repercussions from the first outing, so it looks like the bodywork wasn't put on 100% right. There goes Stephen. Oh, problem with the Nissan there. There's no way you're going to pass that Nissan that quickly unless it had a problem, and he's falling way back there. You can see he's actually falling into the clutches of the first of the BMWs. That is Melville Priest. Then you got Chop Sapuka, and a bit of damage on the side of Johan Ferrari's car too. So it looks like the war is continuing here. And, man, Bridgestone production cars have had some great battles this season.
Yeah, big problems for Marco, as you say. It looks like he could pull up, possibly have lost a gear, maybe fifth. Yeah, you don't drive past him that quickly for no reason whatsoever. Could be a gear problem.
There's no doubt about that. As they come out of Cochabamba once again, Anthony Taylor puts the power down, trying to get away from these guys, trying to catch the guys in front of him. He's got past his stablemate there, Richard Roots. He's got past the Nissan. The Nissan seems to have got that problem all sorted out now. Back on board with Roots. This is going through Potters. This is probably the most dangerous corner in the country, if not in the world. I don't want to be in a car, I don't want to be on a bike. Went through here, absolutely, and he just rolls off slightly. Watch him bury the throttle again. And now as they go through Rifle, this will be flat out. He will not lift here. And you can see getting 220, 225, 230 k's an hour by the time they exit Rifle Corner.
Yeah, and then hard on the brakes. I mean, really, really hard on the brakes to Cochabamba as well. Very demanding, and of course they're pushing a lot of cheese as well. There's Ferrari trying to go around the inside as well. That's going to be a little tussle to watch out for as well, with only 2 laps to go.
Well, Chopsapuka's got the line, so he should have it for gate corner if he can just keep the acceleration and keep the braking late. Will Johan Ferrari try something around the outside? Look at that. Anthony Taylor saw that Chopsapuka's going to be the faster Audi. He goes with Sapuka. Oh, a little touch to the two, and they're off. There goes Ferrari into the sidewall, and the complex has some more action in Bridgestone production cars. Oh, man, that's big.
Unbelievable. I could have sworn that poor little granny on the side there was having heart failure.
Probably did. Johan Ferrari's car came hurtling towards her, but it looked like Anthony Taylor had the inside line. He showed the wheel to Johan Ferrari. Ferrari didn't back out. It was 2 cars going into one corner at the same time. Usually ends up in tears for one of them, and this time out it was for Ferrari.
Yeah, I think, look, it's a racing incident as well. Let's have a look at that replay on board right now with Anthony Taylor. You'll see it. They're getting, oh, yeah. And unfortunately, Anthony Taylor just got 2 wheels on the right-hand side of that dirt. It just kicked him over enough, and it caught Ferrari and spun him right now. Big thing is, how did Taylor miss Ferrari T-boning him?
Yeah, it was very good there. He hit the brakes very hard to miss Ferrari coming across his inside. Here comes Chopsapuka trying to do the same thing now and try and get ahead. Oh, Melville Priest, but he's unable to get him on the brakes. Sapuka's definitely got the drive down here. Let's see whether or not he can use the slipstream down this little beat straight. It's Audi at the front at the moment, and absolutely awesome stuff. Audi in 3rd place wants to make it 1-2 for Engine Extreme, and can he do it? I don't think Melville Priest is going to be as nice.
Sapuka is on the money and on the pace, and we saw this from the early outings in practice. He's really found a really good package going this weekend.
I think a little bit of seat time in that single seat has just got his racer's edge back again, and he's now looking for a way. He goes side by side with Melville. Melville cuts across his nose. Then he goes to the left-hand side. Absolutely awesome stuff here between the two of them. Onto the brakes into Beacon. Late braking from Melville Priest. Even later from Chopsapuka. Now he cuts the apex. Can he get the drive? He gets good drive coming out, but Melville Priest sees him coming and just goes across. Man, this is awesome racing in Bridgestone production cars. Lights of blade. Checkered flag is out. And it's side by side across the line. Priest takes second.
Unbelievable racing here. A small field, but action-packed all the way here at East London.
I can't believe the fact there was only 0.143 seconds between the BM and the Audi as they crossed the line. Michael Stephen takes the victory, but his teammate was right on the tail of Melville Priest for 3rd. Acuna comes through in 4th place, and Anthony Taylor eventually hung on to take 5th place in his BM.
And then the final 2 in our field of 7, Richard Roots in the Rough Rider BMW, and then rating champ Johan Ferrari in the Indy Oil Audi.
In 3rd position, and you've got to be extremely happy with the way things are going. I probably also think that you probably would have wanted the season to be a bit longer, because now you're starting to get results.
Yeah, look, I think now the car and the eye are starting to gel, and I think the team has put in quite a relentless effort to make the car, prepare the car to the standard it is at the moment. But you know, a lot of credit must go to them, because without them, I don't think we would have this package we have here this weekend.
It was tough out there for you, Melville.
Yeah, it was tough. Both races, you know, I had a black Audi right on my tail for the entire 6 laps of each one. But I managed to just hold them off. We're quick in certain spots through the complex. They eat us alive. And I think every single lap up into the last corner I was defending, but managed to hold it on. We're good in certain spots over them. So, yeah, it was good for us.
What a great drive. Was it difficult or easy out there for you?
Yeah, most definitely. You know, it feels like a home win. A lot of people from PE who travel to support, and you know, thanks to them. It was pretty easy. I got into 2nd at the start, and Marco was going really well. Unfortunately, he lost 5th gear, so you know, really bad luck for them. Once I got in front, I think I'd pulled enough of a gap, and the guys behind me were battling. So it was pretty plain sailing from there on. Just bring it home to the end.
So race number 3, it's the theme piece here at the Grand Prix circuit in East London. Looking forward to this, Greg, as we always do. A little more of an extended race than the 6-lap sprint race.
Yeah, 10 lap at this time, and a little bit more action to come. We've seen plenty so far. And man, I want to see a lot more, I think. Bit of time to get the cars all repaired now. They don't have to worry about the Parc Fermé situation. They've got some time in between the races to get them all working. And it looks like the Engine Extreme Audi boys have been working double time on Michael Stevens, because it's now got the pace to run with the BMW at the front end. And I think it's going to be a two-way battle here between Taylor and Michael Stevens.
I also get the feeling that whether Anthony Taylor and Johan Ferré are going to be sending each other Valentine's cards.
I think I'm more like Christmas cards, eh? Right now, no love lost there whatsoever, as per usual. BM versus Audi versus Nissan, 3 manufacturers, as we said earlier in the show. Unfortunately, the Subaru is not making it down here, but we look forward to their return back at Kyalami at the final round. You can see that the Nissan has also found a little bit extra place, and Van Schalkwyk has definitely put some effort in with his team to get the Cunha back onto what is running in 4th place.
I think we've also got to tell our viewers, Greg, about what 2011 holds in store for this particular championship, because some new manufacturers and some new cars are going to be coming to the fore.
Can't wait to see the new cars coming through, and of course the 370Z I think is definitely going to be something that both BMW and Audi are going to be concerned about. They're not too concerned about it right now, as we're on board with Richard Roots into Beacon Corner on the back end of his stablemate Melville Priest. They haven't found a way past yet, but there are 10 laps, so there's a long way to go still in this feature race.
All right, Taylor leading out and quickly followed by the usual suspects. 1, 2 and 3 for Rees, Stephen and Taylor.
Across the line and completing lap number 1. It's BM, Audi, Audi, Audi. So 3 Audis ahead of the first of the Nissans and the only Nissan out there, and then the 2 third and second BMWs right at the back there. You can see that it's basically 7 cars, but there's hardly anything in it. As they cross the line there's about 2 seconds between 1st and 7th place.
Defending champion, obviously, Johan Ferré in the Indy Oil Audi, but let's talk about the championship right now, because this could be it. This could be what Taylor needs to successfully win a championship this year for 2010. We don't know whether he's going to have enough points accumulated. I'll tell you what, but it's going to be close.
A couple of championships have already been wrapped up here at Westbank Super Series in East London, and Anthony Taylor is looking to do just that in the Bridgestone Production Class A's. As they come into gate corner, Richard Roots closes up on the back end of Melville Priest. Priest is putting the pressure on, and in fact, in the front end there, it looked as if one of the Audis just went a little wide. Chop Sapuka was going a little bit wide for my liking. That's going to have slowed him down. In fact, I tell you, absolute rubbish, because it's actually sped him up, and he's onto the back end of the Indy Oil Audi.
7 of 10 we go, and still our leader Anthony Taylor looking to secure a South African championship in the Bridgestone Production Cars. East London is the venue. What an awesome circuit this place is.
It's an amazing circuit, one of the best and most picturesque circuits in the country, and of course in the world too. I've always said I'd love to have like a MotoGP or World Superbikes here at some stage. Can you just imagine this corner with Valentino Rossi? Right now we're worried about Richard Roots. He's getting his knee down, and he's going to... Oh, what there? Nearly goes right up the back end of Priest. Priest had a problem there big time, and Richard Roots, great driving, buddy. How did you see that?
Wow, the disparity in speed. He had to be on his game right now. Now that means he knows how to drive. Wow, what a problem that was. Could have been disastrous.
Looks like a flat tire there on Melville Priest's car. Back left-hand side has gone flat. And that's one of the Afrox BMWs out as we get into the final lap and the final time coming into the complex. Michael Stevens is putting the pressure on. He's not going to allow Anthony Taylor to have this all his own way, and maybe have to make him work a little bit harder when we get to Kyalami.
Yeah, certainly a problem there. We can see it in the pits. It is a flat tire. Richard Roots is in there as well. Didn't see what happened there, though, Greg.
Not quite sure what happened with Richard Roots, but here we go. Stephen going on the attack. Taylor goes on the defensive. Sapuka goes on the attack, and Farid does the same thing. Taylor just maintains that inside line. It's going to be a drag race. 4-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive. It's Turbo Town here in East London, and the Superchargers are going to win out. Taylor takes the victory.
Team Afrox ecstatic. Great day. Could be the championship.
Could possibly be the championship. Anthony Taylor taking the victory there ahead of Michael Stevens. Behind Farid coming through, but look at that. 1.3 seconds between 1st and 4th place. Absolutely astounding stuff after 10 laps. The Cunha comes through in 5th.
This is not a bad day for Terry Moss either, but there is Melville Priest and Richard Roots in the Rough Rider BMW.
And emotional scenes down here, because it means you are now the reigning South African champion.
Yeah, it is. I must say, I'm absolutely delighted. Afrox has been waiting for this for 3 years, and finally we can deliver it to them. And with one race remaining, I must say, I'm absolutely delighted, not only for myself, but for the whole team. Team Afrox, ADF Motorsport, everyone that's involved. And Also to Meg at Castrol, because she's leaving at the end of the year from Castrol. So to her, I'm actually happy that we could do it for her for one last time.
So it's just a mathematical chance that Melville Priest has over Anthony Taylor, but that doesn't mean that he's not going to take this championship. I think it's just a matter of getting to Kyle Army and finishing one race.
Hi, I'm Johan Fourie, racing the Indyall Audi in the Bridgestone production cars. Come and join us at the next event, Kyalami, 27th November. Hope to see you there.
For more information on the Westbank Super Series, SMS the word motorsports to 31329 or visit our website www.westbanksuperseries.co.za and stay in the loop.
Don't go anywhere. Bridgestone Production Cars Class T coming up after the break.
The 2010 Westbank Super Series is coming to a thrilling end. A bumper race weekend features international motorsport action as the V8 superstars return to SA for a showdown not to be missed. Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit, 26 to 28 November.
East London Grand Prix Circuit is where we're at. We've got qualifying and 2 sprint race and a theme piece still to come. Of course, championships need to be decided. It could happen here.
No doubt about it, and it's going to be Volkswagen versus Ford once again, but the Mazdas are back, and back in full force. Heinz Bezay is definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with down here at East London.
Right now, the cars are on the way to qualifying, and this is it. The man to watch out for, Graham Nathan.
Putting his Indy Oil Volkswagen GTI in 4th place, being outdone by his stablemate in the Tyres in Transit Interfile Golf GTI by Kirim Kwambi. And looking at the front end, I did say the Mazdas were going to be there. Berza putting a massive effort in the MFC machine, and he gets the 2nd, which means Gennaro Bonafide puts it on pole. No Fords in the top 4, bud.
Yeah, I know, that's bizarre, isn't it?
Massive, massive turn up for the books there. As you see GTI and Mazda on the front, but with Bonafide and Bozay.
Kirim Kwambi and the other GTR alongside him from Nathan's Motorsport, Graham Nathan.
3rd row is for Marta and Van Rooyen, first of the Fords.
And then Nizam Modak and Kurt Alchin from the bottom end GTI.
And at the back we've got Nizam Essa and Sean Dermody in the 3rd Ford.
Sticking it on pole, Class T. Once again, Gennaro Bonafide. Car's working for you today.
No, definitely. I mean, you know, we've had a few problems the last 2 rounds, and the guys at Nathan's have really done an awesome job. I mean, they've rewired the car, they've changed all sorts of things, trying to find the issue, you know. And we went testing last week at Swartkorps, and we went fast there, so we thought, you know what, coming here, we've got a car that really can work.
Looks like you're on the swings today. Your very first front row. Well done, Heinz.
Yeah, no, it's awesome, man. Our team's done such good work over the last 6 months. We got better and better and better. We had some 3rds and Pekisa and that, and now we're on the pace. We can win today, for sure. And the team's just been unbelievable. The support we've had from Mazda through the last 2 years, well, it's finally paid off, and we're on the front row. It's awesome.
Can we get a victory out of it, Heinz? Let's have a look and see. Bonafide is going to be a tough man to beat. The Ferrodo GTI has found some pace since Cape Town. They've been working frantically to get it that little extra pace, and you can see side by side down towards, hello, the Mazda takes the whole shot.
What does a Mazda go? Goes zoom, zoom, zoom. This is going to be the first time this season it's going zoom, zoom, zoom.
Yeah, the zoom, zoom is definitely in that Mazda of Berzay's as they go down towards Rifle Corner for the first time. 3 GTRs behind him, led out by this man, Gennaro Bonafide. Look at how he's fighting the wheel already. Bridgestone just getting up to temperature. Remember, they won't be up to race temperature just yet. Onto the brakes, down into Cochabana, goes defensive because he knows Kirim Kwambi and Graham Nathan are breathing down his neck.
You do realise, I think we've just missed the boat, that the Mazda's in front of Gennaro Bonafide. At what point did that happen?
Yeah, that was the whole shot going into turn 1. He got that one. Then the GTR is battling for 3rd and 4th place on the road. Kirim Kwambi goes defensive into gate corner, and Graham Nathan, he needs to get past. He cannot afford to be with those 2 Fords. In fact, 3 Fords right on his tail. A good start there from Germany. He's already made up 2 positions and got ahead of some of those valuable GTR points that could have spoiled his day.
In and out of the complex as they'll make their way up to Beacon Corner. One of the interesting passing manoeuvres there is to dive on the inside, but if you do that, you do lose drive.
Yeah, you do. Michael Van Rooyen, see whether or not he's got what it takes on the brakes into Beacon Corner. Closes up on his teammate Formato. Behind him will be his other teammate, and you can see it. Oh! Hello! What are you doing, Sean Duminy?
Oh, my
This is your
word.
friend. This is your teammate. This is the guy that drives for the same team as you. You pay his salary, dude. Oh, man, I don't know what happened there.
Brake failure had to be.
Oh, I don't know what happened there, but Sean Duminy definitely lost a little bit of talent going into Beacon and completely got it wrong on the inside of Van Rooyen. Hopefully it hasn't damaged Van Rooyen's car too much, although he is falling back. Formato's on the charge. He wants...
Oh, look at that. That's amazing from Graham Nathan. He held it mid-slide on the straight.
How the hell did he do that? Man, that was awesome. Graham Nathan in full force and full slide, four-wheel drifting, a front-wheel drive car. Only unbelievable Nathan can do that.
I take my hat off. You are a demigod.
It's unbelievable, as always, from Graham Nathan. But unfortunately losing out one position due to that big slide. He's now got lots of work to do. This is our second place man, looking back at third. So Bonafide's got a little bit of a gap on Kieran Kwame. Kwame closes up under braking. The Interfile tires in transit man all over the back of the Ferodo GTI. Then it is Formato. He's got ahead of Nathan, and you can see he's pulled a slight gap on Graham Nathan. So maybe he might have flat spotted those Bridgestone slightly in that big slide, and he's just trying to get them back up to race temperature.
You know, if Hans Bazet had three hands, one would be on the steering wheel, one would be on the gear shift, and the other would be pinching himself because he's in the lead.
And he's been in the lead for almost 3 laps now as they come onto the brakes into Beacon one more time. There's Formato looking very dangerous on the inside of Kwame. He's got the inside line. Kwame's headed through. That's a good bit of driving there from Gary Formato. Just pressurised the youngster. Oh, Rubbings Racing is what they always say. As they come across the line, it's going to be Formato up into third place.
We call that a thank you nudge.
Yeah. Didn't nudge him, didn't bump him, he rubbed him. Rubbings Racing, that's what it's all about. Down towards Potter's Corner one more time, and you can see Kieran Kwame is not letting Formato get away. Graham Nathan battling with a little bit of that success ballast, and of course running a smaller restrictor down at the coast. The only car that hasn't been restricted this weekend is the one that's leading out. Possibly that's the reason for him leading.
Yeah, and it's a nice one for the sponsors as well, because, I mean, it's at the end of the showing when you're starting to sign the deals, and you say, well, listen, how well we're doing, look at my result, and you sign on the dotted line.
Yep, the silly season has hit us. It's nearly Christmas time, and it's time for Mazda to re-sign, and you can't ask for a better effort here from Heinz Bazet to do what he's doing right now, leading out a Bridgestone Production Class T Championship race. Down into gate corner, we just saw them go past Anthony Taylor after his big incident, which we saw earlier on in the show with Johan Ferrari. But now it's all about Gennaro Bonafide putting the pressure onto the back end of Berza, and Berza is feeling that pressure. There's no doubt about that. The Mazda is now going to be looking for possibly every defensive line it can find.
Yeah, and we've seen Gennaro Bonafide perform the entire season, and I think he's been growing up, you know, mentally as well as physically throughout the entire season. He's becoming a really accomplished driver.
Red and white into Beacon, and it's the second red and white car that gets out braking. Great bit of driving from Bonafide. Looks like Berza just didn't see him coming. Failed to close the door, and now we have a new leader for the first time out. It's the Ferodo GTI from Nathan's Motorsport who crosses the line first. The Ford of Formato still in third place. Graham Nathan still down there in fifth. Lots of work to do for him. We're back on board with Berza as we head into Potters.
Yeah, one of the fastest places on the racetrack. And in fact, I just saw Bonafide just tap the brakes there. That's quite strange, really, because they shouldn't be tapping off there, off the brakes, or even on them for that matter.
I'll tell you what he did. He had the right foot buried and he tapped the brake with his left foot. Just brake checking him, making sure that Berza is on his game, because if he wasn't, he also would have braked, and then he would have got a little bit of advantage from that brake check. So you can see the race skills and all of the wily fox maneuvers coming from Bonafide.
Yeah, I know there's more to this than meets the eye, there's no doubt about it. Still on board, look at that, Gennaro Bonafide. We got a rear view, and there's a larger-than-life Mazda. Heinz Bazet, I don't think he's given up the ghost on this one as well at the moment. Of course, he's looking for big points as well. Really, the championship's over him, but I tell you what, Heinz Bazet is really going to be stoked with what's happening with this car and the package.
No doubt about it. If they can get Smallberger's car working the same as what they've got Berza's, they're going to definitely be in contention as they come through. Look at Formato all over the back of Kwame. This is the tyres in transit Interfile GTI looking back at the Nando's Ford Racing ST. And this ST Focus means business. He goes on the inside, but Kieran saw him coming and went very defensive. This is good driving from Kieran Kwame. There's a big difference in terms of the ability of the drivers and the experience in the two. The rookie is showing the master around at the moment.
Yeah, but Kieran Kwame is not being hassled to the extent that Gary Formato would like to be hassled, if you know what I'm saying. He really is just keeping his mind focused. He's not being intimidated by Gary Formato, which for lesser men, that would happen very quickly.
No doubt about it. The experience there in Formato's hands definitely going to be a major factor, but he's tapped out of it for this one. It's going to be 1, 2, and 3 battling for this victory, and late breaking into the final corner. Gennaro Bonafide's done enough. Oh, he's going to get a little helping hand from Berza, and a little bit of unrestricted turbo helping out there too, but Bonafide will hang on. It's going to be so close between these first 3 drivers. 0.6 of a second between first and third place. That's how close it was. It's GTI's 1 and 3, the Mazda in the middle, and Ford comes through in 4th.
Let's have a look at the official results as they stand for race number 1 in T-Class. Gennaro Bonafide, Hans Bezet, Kieran Kwambi, Gary Formato, and Graham Nathan.
6th place also being headed up there by another GTI of Niles Modak. Kurt Alchin won in the 7th, Essa Smallberger and Sean Duminy eventually down in 10th.
A little hot, bothered, but very happy.
No, for sure. I mean, it was a hectic race. Heinz got past me before the first corner around the outside, so he had some good speed there off the line. I had to sickle to start to keep up with him. You know, you get out this last corner and it's just hard to stick with him in a straight line. But through the complex we got through him, and I think I made a nice move up to the last corner there. Managed to get up the inside. It was good racing, and you know, we had to just keep it ahead. I had to do some blocking maneuvers in the end there at the bottom there. You know, it gets hairy, but we're starting 6th now, and you know, the car's just been awesome. You know, I mean, everything that they've done in the car it's just worked. You know, so we got to just try and capitalize now. You know.
Put it all together for the second race as well would be very important. Modak leads out. He is the pole man. As they cross the line to start race 2, it's 6 laps. Inverted grid. No work allowed to be done on these cars in Parc Fermé, which is the grid. And Bonafide now has to come from behind.
Well, of course, one of the rookies of the year, and has been with Car Magazine, has been Modak. Now, he has, because of the reverse grid, led out on a few occasions during the race throughout the entire season, and he's gone from flag to flag. I would say would have a chance on any other race circuit other than this right now.
Azrin Properties leads out over everybody else at the moment, but the Ford is already looking dangerous. Formato goes on the inside into Kocabana, takes the lead away from Niles Modak. Modak tries to force him out. The Woodmead Auto Machine really works hard to do it, but can't make it stick. Kieran Kwambi goes on his inside. We might see a move here from Berza. He's all over the back of Kieran Kwambi. And look in the background there. Side by side, it's Bonafide and Nathan.
All right, of course, this is going to get ugly if it gets out of hand.
Into gate corner now they go, and it has got out of hand. In fact, it's gone out of Gennaro Bonafide's hands. He went completely wayward into the complex, has dropped back 2 positions. So he's got lots more work to do now. And even Nathan is starting to feel a bit of the pressure coming from Germany. Germany and Nathan. Have we seen this somewhere else before? I think so.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think, you know, Gennaro Bonafide is going to regret that, because that's just a bad driving error. I think he just got too deep and too hot in there, and really now he finds himself on catch-up terms.
Speaking of too deep and too hot, that is deep and hot from Kwambi to get ahead of Modak. Or has he? They're going side by side now. It's Woodmead Auto versus Tyres in Transit Interfile GTIs, and the 2 yellow machines are absolutely pinned and side by side. Good to see Smallberger back out in the 2nd of the Mazdas, but the first Mazda is going for a victory here, and Formato will be concerned.
Well, this is just a wonderful day for the Mazda team as well. They've had trials and tribulations throughout the entire season. All of a sudden, they've waved the magic wand and they've got a package.
They certainly have, and the package is working very well. Here, onto the brakes they go, down to Kocabana. Look at Nathan on the inside of Modak. We saw a similar kind of move trying to be made there by Berza, but Formato saw him coming. Berza runs wide. It might cost him a couple of little, like, milliseconds, but milliseconds is all it was between these cars as they crossed the line in the first race, remember? Only 0.6 of a second between the first 3 drivers.
That's very close. It's almost like a shade. You know what? I've got to tell you, Greg, the one man that I've been impressed with the entire season hasn't won any accolades or podium places, but he's been thereabouts, and he just keeps on doing his business. Kurt Alchin.
There's no doubt about it. Dr. Block is back, and he has definitely found some pace in his GTI, although right now he sits behind Nizam Essa. And Essa in the Azrin GTI working hard to keep the body man behind him. And then we see the leading Ford, or the second Ford I should say, also starting to make its way back through the field. And right now the leading Ford is Formato, but Germany has got lots of work to do if he wants to catch these front runners, and it doesn't look like he's got enough time to do it.
Under pressure, Modak as well, leading from the front in that reverse grip, but pressure has told right now, and currently in 4th. And look at this. This is going to be a battle road. Formato, was he edging him towards the grass? No, why, he wouldn't do that.
How many times are you allowed to move on a track, Gary? I think the rule is 1, but that was about 4 times. But anyway, it is the Mazda that wins out. He's got that extra bit of power, and he goes past the Ford. It looked like the Ford was looking for parking by the time he got past, because he was really hauling. Look at this, though, the 2 GTIs side by side, and Nathan nearly does a bit of deja vu through Potters.
Absolutely, it looked identical.
Man, that was so close. How do you do that, Graham Nathan? Stop doing that, bud. We're starting to worry about things here. Formato into second now. See that he's starting to close up again on the Mazda. So the drive he lost down the main straightaway, he's made up going into Copacabana. This is the final lap. We're looking at the Ferodo GTI from the Interfall, and there goes the BMW. But it is a battle royal between the 3 GTIs here, and Modak looks like he's got enough yet to win this out.
Well, you never know. You never know. It's still too early to tell right now, but I'll tell you what, though. Formato's not finished with this chase down at the Mazda. There are some parts on this race course the Mazda is strong, but saying that, so is the Ford in other parts.
So as they come into the complex for the final time, it's 3 GTIs in 3rd, 4th and 5th place on the road. The Mazda and Ford are battling for 1st and 2nd. A little bit further back, though, there's a couple more GTIs and the other Ford of Sean Durrani. But right now, the battle we're concerned about is Modak. Can he keep Kieran Kwambi behind him and Bonafide? Bonafide is race 1 winner. He's got pace here. You know he's got it. We've seen it already. There's Rekard Roots. He's stranded on the sideline too. But onto the braking markers. It looks like Gary Formato's left it too little too late. And it's going to be a Mazda to take a victory. The MFC Mazda is going to take a victory here in Bridgestone Production Cars.
Now, that means we're going to see a very emotional team as well, because they've worked hard all season and this is bearing fruit for them. It is a win for the Mazda. Gary Formato second. It's a straight out dice. Who got that? It looks like Gennaro Bonafide over Kieran Kwambi.
Bonafide taking it just ahead of his stablemate Kieran Kwambi in the 2 GTIs. That was for 3rd place. So a great effort there from Bonafide on that last lap to get the drive out of Beacon Corner and put himself into 3rd place. There's confirmation. Nios Modak in the Woodmead Auto GTI finishes in 4th, and Kwambi eventually down in 5th place in the Interfall Golf GTI.
And that is Sean Dubney, Nizam Essa, Kurt Alchin, George Smallberger, and finally Graham Nathan, still searching for a championship.
It's an absolute first this year for the Mazda. It's been running well all weekend. I mean, all you had to do was just drive it to the finish line, and you did that. Well done.
Yeah, the car's been awesome all weekend. It was actually quite easy to get in a car that's handling that well and going that well. It's just been so awesome, and my team has done a great job this year, and they deserve this more than me because they do all the hard work. I do the easy part of driving the car. It's just awesome.
So our final bit of race action comes in the theme piece for Class T, and you can see Gennaro Bonafide has got a problem on his car. He's waving cars through there, and that might have been a bit of a jump start on Kieran, although with Gennaro waving him through, that possibly might just get away with it.
10 laps and all to look forward to in T-Class, and a lot of door rubbing and bashing and all sorts of things going on in the first 2 sprint races, but everybody's walked out unscathed at the moment.
The only one who's got scathed is Gennaro Bonafide, but that was because his car has been giving him some problems, and he's now going to try and nurse it home and try and salvage as many points as he can for this championship. Kieran Kwambi leads out. His stablemate from Nathan's Motorsport, the Indy Oil GTI of Graham Nathan, is in 2nd, and then it's the first of the Fords.
Yeah, I mean, if Kieran Kwambi thinks that Graham Nathan's going to have a soft spot, I'm going to allow you just to kind of drive away. Forget it. Nathan's coming at you.
Yeah, that's for sure. As they come down into gate corner, there's the closing up of Formato and Nathan. Then we've got Modak in the background. Is Durmany. Fortunately, Van Rooyen not making it to the start grid, so it's only 2 Fords going to battle, and they've got a lot of work to do out there. Hopefully their stablemates, the Mazdas, can help them out a little bit. But the way the Mazdas are driving today, it's every man, mano a mano.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I'm still a bit worried about that Ford from Van Rooyen. I mean, to come all this way down and have your teammate just actually take you out of it. Anyway, back to the action. There's no point crying over spilt milk at the moment. At the tail end, it's Modek, and looks like that is that Hans Bouzet having a little bit of go, and then Kurt Elchin is in the mix as well. But Kieran Kwame has got his nose in front. It's being chased down by Graham Nathan, and all over Nathan is Formato.
Formato wants past, he wants past bad. Nathan goes defensive. He makes that GTI probably as wide as an Amarok. You're not going to get past him there, Gary, but Gary gets good drive out of Bottas. Hopefully he can use that drive to go on the inside of Rifle. They are side by side into Rifle corner. You don't normally get two cars through Rifle at the same time. There's brakes from Nathan, but only at the last second possible.
Wow, Formato, those were huge.
They certainly were. Into Kokobana, and Graham Nathan now has to go on the attack. Can he stay with the pace? We have seen him battling all weekend. He hasn't got the right restrictor. Remember, they've given him a little bit of extra weight there too, so things not looking into the hands of Graham Nathan just yet. And now he's got Berza on the back. And hello, we went to Kyle Army a couple of weekends ago, and those two had a little coming together. So no love lost between Formato, Heinz Berza, and Graham Nathan.
Yeah, Kieran Kwame's just watching this in the rearview mirror and thinking to himself, oh, well, look at this lot behind me. But right now we're on board with Berza, and just in front of him, Graham Nathan as well. Very misty conditions right now in terms of the camera position. Right now in front of him, it looks like Gary Formato still being chased down. So that would mean that Formato's got past Nathan. Is that correct?
Yes, he has. Nathan under massive pressure now from Berza into Beacon. Onto the brakes. Can he sneak on the inside? The MFC Mazda's got a little bit more grunt. Unfortunately, he just can't sneak on the inside there going into Beacon corner, but he's going to get good drive. Now in the slipstream, he pulls out of the slipstream real early and tries to out-drag Nathan. So the Mazda versus the GTI. He's going to get onto the back end of the Ford and maybe get the slipstream of the Ford. Look at that. Formato sneaks straight onto the back of that Mazda. And you can see that Nathan wasn't going to let him go away. He wants to use the slipstream from the Mazda to keep him in this battle.
Well, I think actually the Mazda passed Graham Nathan as well. I think Nathan was just in front, and I think he had enough power to get through there as well, and he did. Oh, getting a little raggedy there as they're on their way into Potters. One of the fastest places on this racetrack. It's just pedal to the metal.
Yeah, that's for sure. Now he just keeps that pedal buried to the metal, as you say, and now onto the brakes into Kokobana. Formato saw him coming, went defensive, kept him on the inside line, and now keeps the Mazda out. But it's Mazda versus Ford. The GTI is getting away. These internal battles that are happening for second and third are slowing them down and allowing Kieran Kwame to open up a bit of a gap.
Yeah, clean air and no distractions apart from what's going on that's behind him, but he's not worried about that right now. He's driving a very clean race into the complex at the moment, one of my favorite places on the racetrack as well. And look at that, hassling Formato. Hans Bouzet is still, what a package they brought to this racetrack. I haven't seen this Mazda perform this well the entire season.
Yeah, he's definitely got it all sorted out now, and that's perfect timing, as you always say. Down into the sweep, up the little straightaway. This is the back straight that takes them to the final corner, Beacon corner. And no changes in the first four positions. First five stay the same as they come through. Has Heinz Bouzet got something here? Can Gary Formato keep him at bay all the time? I don't think he can, because Berza seems to have it all sorted out this weekend.
Yeah, Nathan is certainly not going to be able to mix it up with the big boys right now, and I'm saying the big boys in terms of Kwame and the Mazda and Formato right now. He seems to just be slipping off the pace, and Sean Dumini's right at the back behind Nathan as well, not doing really much.
I'm just going to say that's kind of a magnet to Sean Dumini's car, isn't it? Indy Oil GTI is like a magnet to that Ford. They normally end up touching at some point on the circuit. Hopefully it's not going to happen this time, but he's definitely closing down on Nathan. There we see defensive driving once again from Gary Formato, this time only making one move. Definitely learning his lesson from the last time. I think the COC had a little chat with him and said, you can't make 4 moves across the line, you're only allowed to make 1. And that's exactly what he's done there once again. He goes on the inside, Berza goes to the outside line. They come side by side, and Heinz Bouzet is going to drive around the outside of him, or is he? Yes, he is! That is Mazda power, and well done, Zoom Zoom.
Yeah, Formato, not an answer, not a prayer whatsoever. All he's going to do is get back and get a tow. Lap 8 and 10 right now, and it's still, oh, look at this. He's got past Kwame. This is amazing for Heinz Bouzet in the Mazda. Kwame still fighting back on his side. Oh, he loses it. He went way too deep on that. Oh, that's just ruined it for him. Just ruined it for him, Greg.
It certainly has. Kokobana corner, catches him out. And that is a massive mistake there from Heinz Berza. He's going to fall behind. In fact, he comes onto the circuit. He's down to about 5th space. And 5th place is not good enough. He comes onto the track. He's behind Modak. That's the battle that's happening behind these two at this stage. And Germany and Nathan, hello. The magnet effect is happening again. A don't want to say anything, but just have a look and see who the two cars are there, Steve.
No, you call it. You're 100% right again. It's the Magnet. Nathan Vermont. Oh, Modego's really won. They'll try and get up at the inside of Smallberger there. Or is that... No, that's
Bürzer.
That's Bürzer. He's coming back.
Yeah, Bürzer's come back. He makes up one position as they get onto the back straight, so you can see the additional power that Mazda's got. Unfortunately, what's going to happen now is he's going to get a bit of success ballast going to Kyalami, which might slow him down slightly. It's not slowing him down now because he doesn't have that in the car. The one good thing about that is Graham Nathan will be losing a couple of kilos too. That's going to help him out by the time they get to Kyalami. This championship is going to go down to the wire.
All right, Duminy on a mission at the moment, trying to draw level with Graham Nathan, but no chance there. Nathan way out in front, on the way to Potters. It's that sweeping right-hander. Duminy just following. Not just following, he's actually gaining on Graham Nathan. Nathan doesn't have an answer.
Nathan was saying to me that he was going through Potter's 6th gear flat out, not braking, not tapping off at all due to the restrictor on his car. That's all he could get out of the car. Duminy looks dangerous though. He's going to go on the inside. Nathan sees him coming, goes a little defensive. Duminy gets it sideways. Oh, that is awesome stuff. Look at that, four-wheel drifting down into Kookaburra. Don't hit the beach, Sean Duminy. Oh, that is exactly what we expected between the two of them. Duminy gets that Sasol fuel burning on the car, gets back onto the track, but he's lost massive ground now.
Final lap, Kieran Kwambi, but you know what? We have to come back and mention it again, as you say, the Magnet, it's always them in the mix.
Yeah, it certainly is. No problems with this man, though. Another victory going to the Tyres in Transit Interfile GTI. It's Kieran Kwambi. He's going to come across the line in first place. Look at the crowd on the sideline. His team are happy. His brother's there to give him a big cheer on as well. And that is awesome stuff. Dad Sheldon going to be over the moon as the Formato car comes through in second, and Bürzer finishes up in the top 3.
What a day.
An awesome day's racing. Kieran Kwambi, Formato and Bürzer. Graham Nathan hung on to 4th place ahead of Niles Modak in the Woodme GTI.
20 points counting. Kurt Alchin, Nizam Essa, Sean Duminy, George Smallberger and Gennaro Bonafide. Congratulations on a race win.
Yes, thank you very much. It was an awesome race. Unfortunately for Gennaro, his car bombed out, but we benefited from it and we took the win. It was great.
Going back to Kyalami now, is there going to be a twist in this championship in terms of points and a position on the table?
Well, I think I was sitting in 6th before this meeting and now I'm sitting in 4th, so I think that's very good for me and obviously for the sponsors and things like that. But I'd like to say thank you to Interfile, Tyres in Transit, Nathan's Motorsport and RG Motorsport who put in a huge amount of work and made sure the car's perfect for the weekend.
Getting 2nd overall for the day and wow, I mean it's finally come. A very, very happy Hans Bürzer.
Yeah, ecstatic. Our team's put in so much work, and today was reward day. They just did everything right today. The car got quicker and quicker, changed setup during the race and during the day, and just got faster and faster. And I think we actually got the lap record in the last race. It was just unbelievable. I made the mistake, otherwise maybe we could have had a win, but we'll take it.
Congratulations, Mazda, but more importantly, congratulations to Kieran Kwambi for that victory. In the points, there are a couple of points still up for grabs, and Nathan and Formato are not done yet. Neither are Bonafide and Kwambi for 3rd and 4th place.
Right, let's have a look at the overall points standing in terms of the manufacturers at the moment, and Volkswagen straight ahead, 962. 681 for BMW, then it's Ford, then the Audi, Nissan, Subaru, Mazda. Way down at the bottom, Lotus.
Hi, my name's Kieran Kwambi, driving for the Interfile Tyres in Transit Core 5 GTI. Come join us on the 27th of November at Kyalami for the last round of Westbank Super Series. Be there.
For more information on that international event at Kyalami, log on to westbanksuperseries.co.za.
That's a wrap of the Bridgestone production cars and also the conclusion of round 8 at East London Racetrack. The final round of the Westbank Super Series takes place on the weekend of the 27th of November at Kyalami Racetrack in Gauteng. It will also be featuring the International Superstar Series. I'm Gugu, I'll certainly be there.